It's been a while since we've done a prediction for refines. This is a bit later than usual, but that's all right because we just have to wait less time before we find out what's real or not. All right, to be clear, the reason why this one took so long to do is because there are quite a few heroes here that were quite challenging to do. I would guess Felicia was challenging, and Duma especially is challenging.
Oh yeah, those. Duma, I feel bad for people trying to predict because
yeah,
I don't know. We don't know how to do this.
Nothing to predict, really.
Yeah. All right, let's do this.
All right.
So the heroes are Kaden, Felicia, Duma, Thea, Idunn, and Gharnef. 6 heroes, and we'll start with Kaden because we already have it set up.
Might as well.
Good.
All right, Kitsune Fang from Kitsune Braggart Kaden. Its defense +3, grants the allies within 2 spaces attack speed, defense, res during combat equals current bonus on each of unit stats. Calculate each stat bonus independently at start of combat if unit's HP is over 50%, or if bonus is active on unit, grants attack speed, defense, res +4 to unit during combat. I'm glad he gets something for himself. Thank goodness.
Yeah. With the fact that New Year's Kaden is all offense, like super fast, pretty good attack damage, it makes no sense for Kaden not to be somewhat selfish on his refine.
Yes.
He is supposed to be combat, and he is not that slow, so he could definitely make it work.
On his release, he actually could still fight. I think that's what part people forgot. Because it's still, at the end of the day, a beast cav hero. And then back then, especially, that base transformation abilities were even crazier.
Yeah, no kidding. Having just straight up an impact effect on anything, ridiculous. Yeah. And considering beast calves were very uncommon, in fact, there was only 2, 3, Selkie himself, and Han.
Yep.
Having a supportive one that is still pretty competent stat-wise, fantastic. Yeah. And he's balanced too, which is really useful, so you don't catch him out on anything.
Right. All right, but at start of turn, if unit is within 3 spaces of support partner and grants attack speed, defense, res +6, and null panic to unit for 1 turn, and unit oh, that's so good. And unit transforms. If unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, grants attack speed, defense, res +4 to unit during combat.
That's transforms even if other transformation conditions are not met.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't think that part is gonna happen either.
But of all people, Kaden, I don't think would get beast shift.
But I do think adding +6 stats to him isn't that ridiculous.
I don't think that part to all stats is gonna happen because I feel like that's too self-sufficient.
All right.
I feel like if he gets like 2, like attack speed or even attack defense to synergize with his length.
You know what? I think you're probably right on that because if you can look at Legendary Azura, and back in the day, Kaden and Legendary Azura were among easily the 2 best when it comes to buffing your team. Yeah, Legendary Azura didn't even get +6 to everything, though she doesn't quite need +6 everything because of how her Ray Waves works.
She's designed right. But yeah, no, they don't give Spectrum, like even look at it, for example, Ashera. It's just attack res +6, whereas she would love the speed defense buffs as well for her Blade Tome, even if that's overseas a lot.
So yeah, for GMO, his Kitsune Fang is defense +3, grants allies in 3 spaces bonus to attack speed, defense, res during combat equals current bonus on each of unit stats. Wait, is that 1 additional space? 3.
Yes.
I don't know if that. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I mean, it could.
I could see it happening actually.
It could. It's just, I don't know.
But at 3 spaces, your entire team very easily gets it.
Yeah, literally, you're just I mean, I guess if you want to look at it that way, Ilgar's refine is
you're right.
Like a big 3-space rain,
Yeah.
So,
with her
so
stats,
it could be realistic. Anyways, calculate each stat bonus independently at start of combat if unit's HP is over 25%, all stats +4, fair enough. At start of turn, if unit is adjacent to standard transformation. At start of turn, if unit is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack speed +6 and null panic to unit and allies within 2 spaces of unit for 1 turn. That's actually pretty fair. Null panic is not the craziest thing to drop on him, and attack speed +6 is not all stats +6. Huh.
Yeah, I get. That might be a little much to have on just on a regular unit where literally that's the entire point of Ashera. Which Ashera also needs 3 allies to even get it for herself.
But Shira has been around for a while, so...
She has been, but it hasn't even been a year yet, and to have a Mythic get, not even just compete, but outright power crept, it seems a little weird.
Well, Mythic fits better in the team, because it's,
well, yeah.
Mythic.
of course, but like even Veronica, for example, Spring Veronica got a Shara's Blade Tome effect, but I wouldn't really say that she did enough to make herself objectively better since she doesn't provide stats.
Right. So the thing is, I can see the understanding here because Ashera is actually still a really, really strong fighter, and I think she provides a better complete package for this purposes of Ether raids. But even then, she's only ran on 1 season, so
yeah, I think
it wouldn't be the worst thing.
If it were combine the two, have it so that it's only the support partner, but it's joint, I think that would be pretty realistic.
Okay. Additionally, at start of combat, if units HP is over 25%, all stats plus attack speed plus 5 to attack to unit during combat, and grants bonus to units attack speed equals total attack speed bonuses on ally, the highest total attack speed bonuses within 3 spaces. I think that's pretty fair. I mean, he's not that fast, not that strong, so even if it looks like a lot.
Fast, but
it doesn't say calculate respectively though, so that might be a little much.
It's attack speed plus speed bonuses, right?
Oh.
Yeah, if it were just like you literally just reciprocate the buff back to you in combat, I think that'd be a little more realistic.
Yeah. But I do think within 3 spaces is really good because he moves 3 spaces, and so if it's not 3 spaces, there's very little chance of him using it correctly. So I like that too.
That's fair.
Off the menu, Felicia, Eldhrimnir, effective against beast foes, grants speed plus 3 at start combat if units res is over foes res, or foes HP is over 75%, inflicts attack speed defense minus 4 on foe during combat. Wait.
Entirely new effect.
It's just flat attack speed defense minus 4.
Right.
Just start us off, which it was just attack defense on the natural effect, so adding in a little speed is nice.
Actually, I do think she needs it. 40 speed base on an armor back then was amazing. Nowadays, not so much.
Yeah.
At start combat, if units res or foes res, inflicts penalty on foes attack speed defense during combat equals 8% of difference between stats at start combat, up to a maximum of 8. Okay, so that makes it a lot easier for her to do this. And I agree with that because 35 res is not a lot nowadays. Even some of the newer heroes releasing that are not supposed to have a lot of res are like high 20s. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yep. So that's handy. And the speed debuff is really nice.
I don't know. That part will get a speed debuff. I wouldn't be surprised if they do this, just remove the conditional, like, adaptive speed debuff and have it be speed minus 4 flat out. But I think this is, in general, basically how I expect it to go.
Right. Additionally, at start combat, if units HP is over 25%, inflicts attack speed defense minus 4 on foe during combat, and also if unit deals damage to foe using a special, oh, I like that. Restores HP equals X% of units max HP, X equals units max special cooldown count value, times 20 plus 10. Very familiar. Basically,
so it's like the Surge
Hector.
Sparrow.
Surge Sparrow. Or I guess Hector would technically work, yeah.
Yeah. And I do like that because she does have a special fighter. That's the intention, I think.
Special fighter with Glacies,
follow up with Glacies. I think it wouldn't be out of the question to see her get a null follow-up, but if we're going down this route, then this is absolutely fine. I think this is
and if she doesn't get a null follow-up like effect, you could run Savvy on her. Savvy Breath.
Savvy Breath. So it works in the special fighter build, but if you wanted to work in more contexts, it would hypothetically work with just a different build.
Right. All right. For GMO, effective against beast foes, grants speed plus 3 at start combat. If units res over foes res or foes HP is over 75%, attack speed defense res minus 4. One more extra stat. That's fine.
I don't.
It doesn't really matter, but yeah. On foe during combat, and also inflicts penalty on foes attack speed defense res during combat equals 80%. All stats.
All stats. It's pretty similar.
The res part doesn't matter unless it's an in-combat res check. Which I think there is on this rough pattern, if I remember correctly.
There are times where it does matter, but if she has guard, it really shouldn't. For example, if they had Iceberg and you drop their res, it actually could be.
It could matter, but I don't expect it. That said, this is otherwise functionally identical to Shamil0's.
Right. Additionally, at start combat, if units HP is over 25%, attack speed defense res plus 4 unit during combat, all stats plus 4. And also if units res is over foes res, minus 5, reduces damage from foes first attack by 30%. And neutralizes effects
how many months now?
Nordban, 34. You're 2 more from 3 years. My God, thank you so much. Welcome back. And then neutralize effects that guarantees foes follow-up attacks and effects that prevents units follow-up attacks during combat. Oh my goodness, not follow-up special fighter.
It's Savvy Fighter.
Oh, it's Savvy Fighter.
Oh, they just said straight up that you get Savvy. Okay.
Interesting, yeah.
I mean, obviously different condition, it's res-based, but...
I like that. She would actually use it really well.
Yeah, and it's not a super easy condition. That's... Honestly, yeah. I could see that. They just straight up go down the savvy route.
Yeah, Chad, don't forget, she's pretty bad. She hits... Even as armor,
she hits like a wet noodle.
Yeah. Okay. If you can find a role where she just doesn't die and is just annoying to deal with, I like that.
Yeah, and it definitely seems like we're all in an agreement that there should be flat stats with an easier condition for the adaptive stats. I like that a lot.
All right, Duma, Fell Breath, attack +3 at start of turn. Unit can move 1 extra space. Yes.
If that can happen, that would be, again, full disclosure, Eldhrimnir will literally try to stuff out anything Duma tries. But that would be the perfect thing to give him.
Yeah, Eldhrimnir's going to shut him down anyway, so might as well capitalize on what he can do.
No, he needs this.
He needs movement.
He needs this. There's no chance.
If he's not Savior, he needs movement.
Right. He doesn't... If all he is just the catapult, it's not enough because Eldhrimnir can shut that down in essentially 6v6. And they don't have to worry about...
She would shut this down too, though.
Huh?
She just shuts this down too, though, because this is also a buff.
Yeah, but you wouldn't... Listen, like, I don't think players would be like, oh my god, I gotta shut down that Duma, deploy Eldhrimnir on that. There are usually more important heroes to deploy that Eldhrimnir on.
You'd be shutting down both at the same time, so depending on... I guess it would be more so on turn 2, if you don't go in.
So, always shut down Duma on turn 1, but after that, there are more important heroes to do, and gotta keep in mind...
Sometimes.
Eldhrimnir reduces damage. You're not gonna stick it on Duma. There are probably other heroes that you want with Eldhrimnir support on. So for me, my Eldhrimnir actually does a lot of movement.
Her to fall start.
Right. She moves around a lot. She snipes structures for me. She uses nudge and heals once in a while. And she shuts down multiple heroes. Duma is always number 1, but there are other heroes like if they run Katra, for example, which Duma x Katra is a thing. People do run that combination. She'll move on to that Katra afterwards. But yeah, that's why I think he needs this, because at least he moves. And Duma is, if nothing else, he sucks in every manner, but if he gets into combat, he is kind of scary. He still hits pretty hard.
Yeah, that 63
attack. A lot of attack.
Yep. So I remember fighting a Duma of Katra support, and that Duma actually killed me. I was surprised.
My Duma actually, prior to taking him off because of Eldhrimnir, was one of my bigger damage carries, ironically, because I was using Katra Evolve. Right, so that one's huge. If he doesn't have that, chat, I think he's doomed. Saros is way stronger than he is, and Medeus is way better in every single way. So yeah, Medeus is literally what he wanted to be. Yeah.
Yep.
And grants the following status unit for 1 turn. Unit can move to a space adjacent to any ally within 2 spaces. Sure, let him teleport.
Sort of basically.
I don't think it's happening either, but sure.
No, but it's sort of Brave Edelgard-esque.
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically feeling a bit Brave Edelgard. At start combat, units or foes' HP is under 100%. Grants attack speed, defense, res +6 during combat, and foe can now make a follow-up attack. I believe that's just the base effect, but with more stats.
No,
also if Duma's damaged.
Yeah, it's also if he's damaged.
Which, now that he has three, that does make sense.
And it used to be only attack and res. So.
Yeah, the speed, defense in particular is really important because why didn't you have any defense on that?
Okay, well, I like the fact he gets a bit more speed because that is, in fact, with Bold Fighter enough to break some worries.
Yeah. I wouldn't be the most surprised. I'll just say that if he gets straight up speed.
I mean, he needs it. He needs everything.
Well, he has Bold Fighter, but
if he gets attack, defense, res, that'll still be good. But,
yeah.
And foe cannot make a follow-up attack. And standard drawing effect, targeting lower defense or res if range equals 2. At start combat, if units' HP is over 25%, grants attack speed, defense, res +4 unit during combat, reduces damage from foe's first attack by 30% during combat, and also if unit's attack is over foe's attack. I like that.
Res.
Foe's wait.
It's basically
I'm not so sure.
It's Dragon Wrath.
Dragon's Wrath, basically slightly powered up Dragon's Wrath.
Yeah, it's like Dragon's Wrath, but with the stats of Niflheim spells domains.
Okay. Unit's first attack deals damage to 30% of units attack foe minus foe's res during combat. Okay, he needs it. Listen,
this would be
with
really
this, he's actually moderately scary.
Yeah,
right?
the warping, I'm trying to ignore it because I
don't think he's gonna get
I
warping.
doubt it.
No.
But
he could get one extra movement, but warping,
yeah, that
no.
part almost I expected. But
I
if he
expected
got
it.
literally everything, if I just ignore that warp for a second, this would actually be kind of scary. Like
Yes.
this would literally be. You actually have to watch out. Don't get hit by Duma.
And it would actually be the one extra movement. I can see a little bit of a theming reason for it. I mean, Alm gets one extra movement, and Alm is sort of has Duma's brand. So
yeah, exactly. Okay. So being able to one shot is terrifying, and being able to actually live something is equally terrifying in many cases.
Right. Because the title of God of Strength has been so meaningless for so many years.
He was the highest attack unit. He was the highest attack unit in FEH for over a year.
For GMO, Fell Breath, attack plus 3 at start of turn. If unit's HP is over 24%, you can move 1 extra space. I'm glad you guys agree on that, because he needs it. That's the minimum he needs.
He just needs it. There's only one armor in Aether Raid's defense. Come on.
Yeah. It doesn't fit on anyone's team at this point. At start of combat, foe's HP is under 100% or penalty is active on foe. Grants attack defense res plus 6 unit during combat. Fair enough. The speed part, I would prefer him to get it, but like I understand if they don't do it. Yeah, like, it's extra. It's so extra.
Yeah.
And foe cannot make a follow-up attack. At start combat, if foe's HP is under 100% or if penalty is active on foe, grants attack plus 5 to unit, inflicts attack minus 5 on foe during combat. Oh, very simple. And also, if unit's HP is under 100% at start combat, neutralizes effects that guarantee foe's follow-up attacks, and during combat, reduces damage from foe's first attack by 30%. Okay, so you do less damage, but you're more survivable. That's also not bad, honestly. This one's a lot more fair.
Right.
Icy Maltet. There's already a Maltet in the game, and it's amazing, so I hope this one's great. That's probably not gonna happen. Let's go. If foe initiates combat or foe's HP is over 75%, I like that. Let's be honest, though Thea came with Steady Posture too, she wasn't really used that way. She wasn't a counter attacker. A lot of people built her on dual phasing, but whatever. It's so long ago at this point.
I see what you mean, GMO. Okay.
At start of combat, grants attack speed, defense plus +4, and neutralizes effects that guarantee foes follow-up attacks during combat. Ooh, I actually like that on a flyer.
Pretty spicy if she got that.
Follow-up. Yeah.
Let's see that guarantee. So it'd be basically
it's the defensive no follow-up.
Tribute on her, which is actually pretty fair.
Yep.
That's a really solid base.
Yeah. If a unit is within 3 space, an ally grants attack speed, defense plus +4 to unit during combat. I like that because Pegasus flyers are usually a lot of other Pegasus flyers anyways, so.
Especially when they're sisters like this.
Right. From like the lore reason especially. Deals damage equals 15% of unit's defense and reduces damage from foe's attack by 15% of unit's defense. Oh, wow.
I mean, I like the idea. I don't know if I like that on Thea.
Did you realize 15% just means like 3 damage? It's so slow.
Yeah. Yeah, let's not. It's literally 4. I mean, okay, it's a little more than that because you are getting 8, 39.
Oh, that's true.
You get like 5.
So you like 5.
Okay,
but he has not a
that's not a lot. It's whatever.
You'd have to max invest into your defense, and even then you'd get, what, maybe 7 or 8, right?
Yeah, I mean, I get the idea because it's like, it's not supposed to be broken because, yeah, it's what Maria has, but Maria has a defense stat, Thea doesn't, so that balances it out. But because of that, I don't know if I would expect to see Thea full send into a defense roll, where you kind of want to stack it.
All right. This is one I'm not going to be able to call, so I'm just going to say, all right. This one seems fair, though. For GMO, if foe initiates combat or if foe's HP is over 75% at start of combat, grants attack defense plus 7 to unit during combat, and also neutralizes penalties to attack defense and bonuses to foe's attack defense from skills like, oh, that's not bad either. That's fair. That's like actually
fair.
Very fair.
Mm-hmm. It's like a lull, or not a lull, but it's like
7's a little much for a base.
I think he's building off because she has Vanguard at base, which is 7 defense.
Well,
yes,
but 7 attack on top. I don't know.
I mean, it's only 2 stats.
I don't think she hits that hard, anyways.
Well, no, it's just I find it weird. Thea has a speed stat, and the base weapon literally does nothing for it, even if it is Vanguard based.
I think they're just taking that Vanguard idea. But yeah, if foe initiates combat or if foe's HP is over 75% at start combat, grants attack speed, defense, res plus 4 to unit during combat, and neutralizes effects that guarantee foes follow-up attacks during combat.
Well, I think you guys agree on that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're both fairly tame, but in different ways. I think GMO seems a little stronger because it doesn't rely so much on that kind of defense.
It's a little more realistic, I honestly will think as well.
Yeah.
This one I can't call. I don't remember anything about Thea, and I don't think she had a perf, did she?
No, she just said the Vanguard. 7 defense when foe initiates.
Right, so that's what I mean. Like, where would this go?
This one, I think, is the one I'm most looking forward to.
Yes,
this one, Idunn could become an incredible savior unit.
Yeah, I think people forget this, but Idunn's actually still legit. Her min-maxing was so good. She gave up a lot of attack, I think, but her defense and res were just for the time, especially.
Attack. She only has 35 attack, but I mean, that bulk, even though it's 4 def res, speaks for itself. Like, she still competes with Ascended Idunn without a refine in everything except attack.
Right. All right. You know what's funny with this refine? The worst Idunn might actually be dual Idunn.
Yeah, Idunn is
so weird.
Out in a way the worst one now. I mean, I don't even have to see the refine to know that, but that is a bit depressing to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Demonic Breath, defense plus 3, effective against armor foes, same. At start combat, if unit's HP is over under 100%, or penalty is active on unit, or bonus is active on unit. Oh, on foe, sorry. Oh, jeez. Grants attack speed, defense, res plus 4 to unit. That makes it so guaranteed. Sure. Neutralize units, penalties, and foes' bonuses. Oh, it's no longer penalties, it's penalties and bonuses.
She did, I mean, it could be, considering we have Wily Fighter on...
Senate Idunn's idea.
Oh, that's actually, I didn't even notice that when I first read this a little while back. That's clever,
Yeah, that's fair. I think 3 conversions is not something we will expect to see, but I think that's fair.
I'm also surprised it didn't bump the stats. It's still all plus 4.
I mean, when you run it in tandem with another all plus 4, that usually tends to work out. But not everybody's getting plus 10 all stats.
Right. If foe initiates combat or foe's HPs are over 75%, at start combat, inflicts attack res -5 on foe during combat, and foe cannot make a follow-up attack. I'm not so sure about that. Is both a boon and a bane. For some heroes, if you're a hero without a slaying weapon, you actually sometimes do want to get hit more often.
That is basically like legendary Hector's refine.
Yeah. I don't know.
The refine, the refine.
It's actually more like the base, ironically.
Oh, well, actually, it's like the base.
He has slaying, right? It works better.
No, he does not.
No, I mean legendary Hector.
Legendary Hector has damage reduction, so the whole point is that he only gets hit once, and he is also reducing that damage. Because he has first hit 40% damage reduction.
Wait, I was talking about Vector.
He was talking about Legendary.
I was talking about Lecter because the refine effect is similar to one part of Thunder
the base of Thunder Armads.
All right, well...
Yeah, first of all, it feels too simple. Like, it's just... You got Wily Fighter building buffs, and you deny follow-ups. Some extra stats. For literal Idunn, I don't know if that's all I can say I expect.
Yeah, I think I expect a little better.
Okay, we'll see. GMO has it as defense plus 3, effective against armored foes, same. Neutralize effect against armored foe.
Almost want to say that's going to happen no matter what. I don't want to put it out there and just be wrong.
Why would it happen, though? Ascended Idunn
does that.
Both of the other Idunns, in one way or another, neutralize their armor weakness.
That's right. Duo Idunn has her duo skill that neutralizes it, too.
I see. Ooh,
yeah. It's more so retroactively doing what they didn't want to do because it was already broken.
Fine. If they did that, chat, she's easily one of the best she's easily one of the best savior heroes, period.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. If Idunn gets Sivalin, as the others have, she is already in contest for top 5 saviors, no problem. Especially since we're talking about Idunn here.
Alright. I don't like that because it really tramples on top of Ascended Idunn, and while Ascended Idunn is still gonna be better, it's just, man, that's crazy.
It does just mean that Ascended Idunn is no longer a paragon without contest, but there's still argument to Ascended Idunn, like in the simplicity of her conditions, the fact that she is free ascended and slaying.
Yeah, the slaying part, I guess, is the big one. All right,
and it's
if penalty is active on unit or unit's HP is under 100%, start combat, same as before, neutralize unit's penalties and grants attack speed, defense, res plus 4 unit during combat. Also, if foe initiates combat or foe's HP is already 75% at start of combat, grants attack speed, defense, res +4 to unit during combat, so all stats +8. And neutralize foes' bonuses from skills like Fortify, Rally, etc. Okay, fair. During combat, and also units within 2 spaces, an ally foe cannot make a follow-up attack.
So it is just Shamil0's Refinements involved.
What?
I mean, obviously,
Well,
okay,
it has more stats. It has all stats up for twice instead of
Yeah.
that, and then attack.
Which honestly, I think is a little more realistic since we are talking about Idunn.
Yes. And Idunn can make productive use of that speed.
Conditional null armor would be interesting.
Oh.
That.
Have we ever had a conditional, aside from like a duo skill, have we ever had a conditional null effect?
No. Unless it's a buff. If Idunn had the option to buff herself with Sivalin, which would be extremely weird.
Or if she buffed herself and her allies with Sivalin, potentially.
Probably just herself. There's no way she would provide it. Okay, if she did that, then she would be the best savior.
I get it's weird, but I think I should recognize an armor hero that doesn't count as an armor hero in a meta that contains savior units. It's such a devastating combination. So they really can't mess around with that, in my opinion. That's why.
If anybody were to do it though, it would be Idunn.
Fair enough.
But this Gharnef actually looks
like a human,
full of
like
life,
a Wall Street stockbroker. That's what he looks like.
Pretty much, yeah.
You're right.
And he's actually he's slightly more good for the world than the average Wall Street stockbroker.
Oh my god.
So.
Oh, I'm not sure about that. Okay. All right. Well, I've fought all my Gharnefs. There you go. Mirror Sands is really important.
I would just 5-star Sylvia if I were doing that, but I kept my Gharnefs even though I never used them. Not even when he came out.
I didn't keep my Gharnefs except for one, so if I decide to build them here, I'll have to spend a lot of grails.
Listen, there were some weirdos who really liked him. So let's see. Res +3 at start turns 2 and 3 deal 7 damage to foes in 5 rows or 5 columns centered on unit. That's huge. Oh my god, that's huge.
Yeah, you're not avoiding that anymore.
What was it originally?
5 columns. That's it.
Just 5 columns.
And also on turn 3 only.
Well, yeah, of course. And only 5 damage. And had the magic foes which be affected.
That is the one thing. It doesn't explicitly say non-magic foes, which, given we're talking about Gharnef, pretty sure they'll keep that.
Okay. Inflict status on those foes preventing a counterattack through the next actions. If unit is combat or is not adjacent to an ally, inflicts attack res -5 on foe during combat.
Now, this Refine treats Gharnef like he's slow when he's not.
Yeah, this I'm not a huge fan of. The stat part, at least.
Listen, if they made it a giant area effect, turns 2 and 3, and they can't counterattack, oh baby, sign me up. That's for AA. So easy. Makes things so much easier.
I would already refine Imhullu if I just saw that, regardless of what came next. Like, that is so useful in so many contexts. Even in summoner duels, you could literally just flat out stop people from countering you until they're
I actually fought somebody with a meme red mage team, or just with all the
honestly, like Aversa and Gharnef work pretty well together. If assuming Gharnef gets buffed to his condition, flash and getting panicked and
run Aversa with Gharnef and Garen and Veld.
Oh man, even Solon if you want to get spicy.
Oh, that would cause so many headaches.
At start combat, unit's HP is over 25%, inflicts attack res -5 on foe during combat, so stack it twice. He needs it, he's that old. And also the following effects will occur based on the value of total penalties on foe plus damage dealt to foe at start combat. What? If over 1, unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack. What? Okay. If over or equal to 10, reduces the percentage of foe's non-special damage, reduce damage by X percentage skills by 50%. Wow, it's guaranteed. If it's 10, example, foe will reduce damage by 45%, skill would reduce it by 23%. Wow, that's
a really cool refine.
Gharnef would actually be scary because he would be his support abilities would be very good, and he would actually have a chance of killing something.
Actually, legitimately have a chance of killing something consistently. Again, why are we treating this 34 speed red mage like he has 20? But
yeah, that's the thing. I don't get.
That said, with that aside, this is a really cool refine that would genuinely make Gharnef both threatening for himself, which he needs to be, and super annoying as a support, which they've seemed to at least been getting better at gimmick weapons recently, so that would be awesome.
And finally, GMO says, Res plus 3, at start turns 2 and 3, deal 7 damage to non-magic foes. Once again. That alteration, I get it, it's fair, lore reasons, blah, 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 but like...
It wouldn't be that big of a deal. There's not a lot of mage tanking explicitly going around.
Alright. 2 non-magic foes within 5 column center on units, so it's just a giant circle or a square. And inflicts stabs on those foes, preventing counterattacks through the next actions. At start of combat, if unit's HP is over 50%, grants attack speed plus 5 to unit during combat. And also, if foe does not use magic, if unit's HP is over 1, and foe would reduce unit's HP to 0. Miracle?
It's Hell's Reaper Miracle.
Yeah,
but it has the HP threshold, which I think is a little. But if they're like 25%.
Was that you say you think is a little
too high on the condition, but I know that that's what Miracle Tearfing is like, but I think 25 is a little more reasonable. But having Hell's Reaper Miracle on Imhullu, Gharnef would probably be pretty realistic for that.
I think
it's fairly realistic because it's sort of a reference to. I mean, Gharnef, you can't
literally
kill
can't die unless it's specifically one tome, the Starlight Tome.
I like that, but there's also practicality reasons for that, because if you put him into the enemy formation and he doesn't die from 1 combat, if they need 2 combats against him, that's already increasing his value drastically.
Right. He can just inflict his status easily. He can, if he throws himself into the middle where he can splash his status, and he could normally get hit by 1 person, as long as they don't double him and do a ton of damage. With each
he could just run no follow-up Mystic boost.
Yeah, he could just do no follow-up Mystic, and
which that is one thing Hell can't do, no follow-up. So that's a huge boon.
That's true. Yeah.
All right. At start of combat, foe's HP is over 75% or penalty is active on foe, grants attack speed plus 5 unit during combat. And also, foe does not use magic, grants an additional attack speed plus 2 unit. Okay, sure. During combat and reduces damage from foe's first attack rate 30%. Okay, that second part is much more significant than just do more attack to more speed.
Yeah, that's a little funny. Like really, attack speed 2.
I think attack speed 4 might be a little more.
Yeah. It definitely is very obviously don't fight Starlight. But this is actually really cool.
Okay. I'm just going to sum it up. This Gharnef is the one I'm looking forward to the most now. You two have gotten me thinking about him, and you know what? He might actually be good.
I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Unironically could actually be quite solid. He has the potential, especially since, again, we're talking about Gharnef here. First of all, they released Medius specifically leading into Gharnef. Second of all, he's one of the most important antagonists in Fire Emblem. They can't leave him high and dry.
He's very, very important. Yeah, like he basically controls the events of both Arcanae games.
Okay. Anyways, which hero are you guys looking forward to the most? I'm going to tell you now, it's now Gharnef. That's so weird.
I would say probably Gharnef and Duma for me, although Idunn is one I'm really looking out
Idunn, Gharnef, Duma, that's my top 3.
Yeah.
I really want to see what those 3 come up with.
Right.